Woo! I know it's been a while. I know it's been a while. But unlike some people, I actually have a life outside of YouTube. That's the hilarious thing about it. Ugh. It's been a while since I held my head up high. It's been a while. That was actually a beautiful song by Stain, right? By Stain. All right, what's up, Linda? What's up, John Jones? Either the martial artist or the martial manhunter. Woo! Um, I have to say some things. That's crazy on my chest. Am I going up to Morgan State for the homecoming? Maybe, maybe not. I tend to stay away from it because the traffic is like freaking horrible. But the ladies and the scenery is like always exquisite. Ooh. um, I don't know what the hell I'm gonna do later on today. I really have to talk about certain things, right? It's amazing how you got this place called the Manosphere, but the least supported people in the Manosphere, the Black Manosphere, are the Black men. It's a goddamn shame. Even though congratulations to Dr. T making 30K, but why is it a man with that level of brilliance only at 30K? Think about that. You would think he would easily be 100K. But every time I see a run come up in the Black Manosphere and say the same talking points, wash, rinse, and repeat, boom, 50K like nothing. Anytime you got the simps, boom, 100 viewers watching plus. I could literally teach motherfuckers how to do certain activities in their lives. And it's getting to the point where is it worth it? And this is something that a lot of content creators won't talk about. They'll never tell you, is it worth it? Because, some people got to have bravado and some people's got to have an image, but I'm going to just fucking say it. Is it worth it? And this isn't going to be the only thing I talk about. You got idiots like a Mary Brown who go out there and physically lie, make up shit as he go. And you're gonna see more support from them batshit crazy women than you do here. Or other manosphere fucking places. You look at Art New Style, an actual art professor both in college and high school, who actually talk about some very intriguing things. Where's the support? But if I'm cussing out a chick or a ratchet chick or arguing, I'll get about 200 people watching live. Nobody wants to learn. No one truly wants to learn. And it's incredible. I'm looking up on a video about Melanie King, and these ladies talk about no matter how submissive, No matter how she's playing a video of this lady talking about this shit, so it's not actually Melanie. No matter how submissive, no matter how much you cook, these men are still gonna cheat. Okay. Let me ask this for women, okay? Can any can any woman, black, white, anything, tell me, do they understand men? Do they cater to men? Have they ever been taught that men matter? No. See, marriage never benefited men. It never has, it never will. So men really have to make the biggest sacrifice because if shit goes bad, he's gonna be the one asked out. He's gonna be at the detriment and at the mercy of not only the courts but his ex-wife slash child's mother. So women get all up upset about Ime Udoka cheating on his fiance for 7 years, which means he'll never marry that hoe. And shame on you women who allow that shit. But she's not wife material. And trust me, he did outrank her. See, Nia Long's black famous. The Boston Celtics are world famous. Especially if you already, your first year, you win the Eastern Conference championship. What the fuck did she ever do in her life to equal him? But I digress. You're telling me this former pro basketball player, now pro basketball player coach, who's, tall, handsome, rich, to truly think that men don't have options, you gotta be fucking kidding me. Lesser men have options. What do you think a man at the top tier has? Anything he fucking wants. But it's hilarious when certain things come out that, oh, these men can't stay faithful. Why should he? No one ever says how a man gets treated, because when a man cheats or steps out versus a woman cheats or steps out are totally different things. For a woman to cheat, unless she's already a black pill hoe, she's already emotionally invested. For a man to do it, it's like an activity. It's like playing video games, going out slap boxing, wrestling, going out drinking and chilling with the boys. You got an urge, you fix it. For females to cheat, it's for her just to get her. It's for her because she's emotionally attached. The only way she could not be emotionally attached is she's a black pill hoe. And most women, to be black pill, have to be hoes in some form. Strippers, prostitutes, escorts. Shall I go on? Hit that super chat, hit that cash app. You learning some shit today. So, Nia Long, who's been in the business, the entertainment business for like what, 25, 30 years maybe? It's very hard for me to digest that she does not understand how men at the top tier behave. If you think that me being 45, still looking good, still in good shape, and women want me, and I'm making millions, and I'm world known with a worldwide multi-billion dollar organization, you gotta be out your fucking mind. You gotta be out your fucking mind. It's not logical to think that a guy who's that high tier is not gonna step out. I don't know where all these fairy princesses who think they're gonna live happily ever after what their Prince Charmings are going to do when they actually start that new male nature. Males are made to spread their seed biologically. So you're going to have that urge for multiple women. Yes, you can fight those urges, but guess what? That biological urge will overcome you at some point when you're around enough women. Now, people say, "Do you think it's right that he cheated?" I'm not going to talk about the morality of shit because a lot of people get morality fucked up. See, when you actually understand men and women on biological status first, it's much more humbling. It's much more satisfying. You'll have a lot more relationships intact instead of saying, "Oh, he cheated." See, here's the difference between men and women. A man cheats on his wife, he ain't leaving his wife. He'll tell the bitch, "I ain't leaving my wife." But a woman, if she cheats on her husband, she's ready to leave that nigga. But that's the crux of the conversation that we're having right now is that women think that men are fucking women. The reason why it's harder for us to take you cheating than you to take us is because when y'all cheat, there's no fucking loyalty. We're gonna stay loyal. All she was a body and a knee. But then again, we're not going to talk about how many sexless marriages and relationships are out there. Even my Padawan at 19, his girlfriend goes to Morgan State. And as soon as their relationship was official, she said, we're not gonna be having sex every time you see me. I don't get it. I don't get it. I don't get it. You're telling a 19-year-old young man that you're not gonna have sex every time you see him, okay? You may not be fucking, but that doesn't mean he won't. Try it. Try, fuck around, and find out. Remember that equation. The more you fuck around, the more you're gonna find out. Until you women understand this shit, that the more you restrict men from sex, the more we're gonna say, "Fuck you." You ever notice the older women used to say, "Make sure his belly is full and his nuts are empty." If you don't take away that urge will be met one way or another. And when we look at this, fundamentally, you don't understand men. And this is also a fundamental problem when you don't understand power. The most powerful men in history had multiple women and wives. What's changed in a 2 million year history of human beings? The most powerful man usually get the best resources, the best living quarters, the best women. What's different? What the fuck is different? But we want to judge this man for doing what all powerful men done before. I mean, Phil Jackson was messing around with Jenny, whatever her name is. I think it was Bus or whatever the fuck for years. Well, he was married. Nobody said shit. Oh, these men ain't faithful. Yes, we are. We'll fuck you and stay with you. We'll fuck somebody else and stay with you. Y'all won't. That's one of the telltale signs if a woman's stepping out on you. If she's not fucking you. If that woman is not fucking you, I mean, especially if you're a half decent looking guy in half decent shape, you fresh out the shower, if your woman ain't touching you, she's fucking somebody else. And I'm gonna tell you, from a guy who's been with a good amount of women, a great amount of women, even while she is on her period, she's at least giving you head or something. Let's be funky. Oh, shout out to electrician 480, the hardworking brother, skilled labor says something for the cigars and liquor. Woo! Gotta play this for you, man.
By the power of Grayskull.
Shout out to the hardworking blue collar brothers with the skills that pays the bills. Woo! Shout out to electrician 480. Good brother. Always talk to him or text him, offline. But like I was saying, a lot of people don't understand the dynamics of power. And this is where we totally mess up. This is where we totally mess up. Oh, we're going to talk about that shit, AB. Oh, I'm going to talk about that shit. Oh, I'm going to talk about that shit. Shout out to Artists of the American Negro. J.R. Meadows and others. James Kills. Who else? Chaos. Linda. All-Star G. What's up, people? See, and I'm going to tell you, because my father does a lot of remodeling, plumbing, electrician, flooring, sheetrocking, carpentry. I have a huge respect for guys in that field. Have I learned how to do some of the stuff? Of course. But I have a huge respect for guys in that field because these are what you call the dying arts. One, because we don't have a lot of fathers in the community anymore teaching and passing the shit down. And two, because a lot of people try to look down upon these men, and believe it or not, a lot of your blue collar tradesmen are some of the highest earning men, if not the highest earning people in many communities. Not everybody's corporate, man. Now back to this. Let's look at this shit called cheating. See, I always love that the family that picks that praise. See, Mr. Cartwright was never going to leave Mrs. Cartwright. Okay? Never. Too loyal. That woman gave him good white babies, held up his image. Why leave? You think Mrs. Cartwright was upset that Mr. Cartwright was messing with some floozy ass chick? No, she respected him more. You gotta understand something. The pheromones of, don't go there, Charles. Don't go there. People think you're just some dumb cop. You're just a dummy who owns a security firm. You're just a big dumb guy. First and foremost, for a lot of you simpletons out there, the pheromones of another woman on a man's body actually arouses other women. That says he's valuable. That says he's wanted by others. See, a lot of people don't take that. When I mess with multiple women at a time, they could smell it. Women have a greater sense of taste and smell than men. Hunter-gatherers, we're bigger and stronger, so we can deal with the beast on the fucking planet to kill or defend ourselves. They had to go, because they did not have the physical prowess of men, they had to gather berries and fruit. So they had to have a stronger smell and taste to make sure the shit wasn't poisonous to everybody in the group. That's why when a woman says she smells a man when you're sweating, shout out to the hardworking brothers, when you're sweating, you're giving off pheromones, you're giving off your natural scent. And that actually arouses women. Why do you think women say they love a hard-working man? Because they can smell the goddamn hard work off of you. But I digress. We over here in the manosphere don't talk about shit but hating women. We don't talk about shit that you can carry on for the rest of your life and actually learn something from. No, 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 no. No, we're just a bunch of dumb woman haters. Now, you're gonna sit here and tell me that Nia Long has better options than Ime Udoka at 51? See, I'm gonna really, really have you digest this shit, right? There are hardly any women that can go up past 35. Hardly any. You gotta think, you gotta be like some Vanessa Williams level of beauty. Exotic, immaculate, even. Artists have said, facts. Why do you think they flock to when you're in the gym? Exactly. Catnip. That's where that you think about it. That's where all the pheromones are flying because of all that goddamn sweat. So you're telling me you get this white chick whose husband is some corporate guy, and she's looking at a physical specimen who make just as much. Maybe the VP may make more, but guess what? The VP ain't doing so hot, is he? Let me put it to you this way. A female detective told me this in the academy about men and women at the workplace. It's so hard to go home to Clark Kent when you've been hanging around Superman all day long. Somebody need to put that in the chat. It's so hard to go home to Clark Kent when you've been hanging around Superman all day long. I promise you, I promise you, I promise you that her husband in the physical prowess could never match Ime Udoka in physicality. I promise you this shit. There are so many women out there who work in male-dominated spaces, and they're literally around these fucking Uber men, or Ubermesh, if you really want to go total German, which for people who don't know what that means. That means overman or literally Superman. You walk around with these Ubermesh of men, and your husband is just a paper pusher. And you're going against and you're looking at these $1 million fucking stud athletes, and you think that woman is gonna really not fucking dip her toe in the pool? You gotta be fucking crazy. Why do you think so many female cops, cheat on their boyfriends or their husbands with other cops? You're literally out there with the closest goddamn thing to a real life superhero, and you don't think that shit doesn't arouse women? Even she who will not be named was so fucking aroused when I let 405 pounds sit on my chest for 20 seconds and lifted it up with no problem. She was like fucking Niagara Falls after seeing that shit. Because you don't really see that shit in the everyday world. And then you go home to some nigga who got a whole bunch of papers and all the time on the phone because he's got to be the corporate guy. And you make her get the phone number of an Ime Udoka. And you think she's not going to dip her fucking toe in the pool. Man, she's going to go on that bitch face first. Lockjawed and all. I bet you he was fucking her till she was pigeon-toed and bow-legged. And she was liking it. See, a lot of people don't want to look at the reality of it is it's natural and it's bound to happen. You put men and women in a space, they're going to do what human beings naturally do. But then again, you also have these simp ass niggas. I would never cheat on Nia Long. Nia Long was cute, but she wasn't all that to me. Yeah, she had her better days like 20 years ago. But here's the problem. You really think she's going to be like fucking like a rabbit at 51? You really think that? Female Joke is only 45. And I keep telling women, 45 for men is totally different than 45 for women. Especially men who keep themselves up. Let's be real. 30 for men is different for women. A lot of women don't understand this concept. You take a teenage boy. Most teenage boys look kind of gangly because they're going through their growth spurts. It's rapidly happening. You know, the bones are trying to grow longer and thicker. You know, they're going to look gangly. Where the girls, when they're teenagers to young adults, they're going to look uber pretty because they look almost flawless. The cells are reproducing at a rapid rate, so she's in the height of her beauty. She gets what the fuck she wants. AJ Johnson doesn't. Johnson doesn't feel nostalgia. Oh man. So when you look at Steph Curry, for example, when you saw him as a teenager in his pictures, he looked gangly. He looks like a tall, gangly kid, just skinny. Look at him now, in his 30s, look like a handsome man. I'm not going to say pause because I like to give men their credit. If you're handsome or you're fit, you're handsome or you're fit. Got to give you your props. Nothing homoerotic about that. Stop that bullshit. You look at his wife, Aisha, now, after having 3 or 4 babies. She's still an attractive woman, but she's not what she was 10, 15 years ago. You got to think about it. Responsibility in seasoning looks good on men. That's why when a man loses his hair and he shaves it off and he grows a beard, women enjoy that. You probably get more play because you're bald with a beard. God don't let you have any muscle definition. You just look like rugged masculinity. See, you got to remember, men are like steaks. You ever ate a steak without seasoning? You're like, well, that's okay. It's okay. But when you marinate that steak, give it a little bit of seasoning, let it be out in the refrigerator overnight, 12 hours, especially if it has that great marbling to it. You put your little peppers, your salt, your special hot peppers, and you let that shit soak up through the pores of that steak. If you sear it just right, that's how men are. When we get a little bit of age on us, a little bit of seasoning, women love you. Shout out to Cuban Rain, another shop dress brother. Woo! Gotta sing you this one. Speak to him all night.
Now for a lesson. You may have heard these words before. but I'll teach you what they really mean. Go beyond! Plus!
Thank you once again for the support. Support your black content creators, please. And please, tomorrow, don't forget to come on Geek Talk Live with Artists of MC every Sunday. Everything you want to talk about geek related, that's the man. He's not only a skilled blue collar tradesman, he's also the owner and proprietor of his own very own comic book shop. Not too many brothers can have that, man. So you need to support him. Woo! Thank you again. You gotta remember, when that man gets seasoned, when he gets worldly, when he travels, when he has some skills, when he's a conversationalist, that's a beautiful thing, man. A beautiful thing. So when you have that worldliness about you, you're just gonna attract women out of the blue. Artists and MC will tell you he's almost 50, and women still come on him like it's nothing. Like it's nothing. And trust me, when Artisan has his beard or shaves off, he still looks like youthful, real man. He looks like a vitalized man. You know, he still looks healthy. You can't say that for women. And this is the reason why women get bitter at men who look at younger women, because they even out. And this whole situation, I look at Ime Udoka. If you're gonna suspend him for culture, just fucking suspend him. You're not gonna let him go because the motherfucker's too good. Because if you allow him to go elsewhere and become a coach, it's gonna be a curse upon you, because he's gonna come with fucking grave fury and righteous anger. So you can't allow that guy to go, but you want to punish him because he soiled your so-called white woman. That's all it is. It's basically corporate lynching. How dare you fuck this white woman? Notice there's always protection for the woman, even though she knew she was fucking wrong as shit. That's why, even as an officer, I never believed all women. I believe the investigation and the evidence it presents. And I think that's the proper way we should approach things, because women are master manipulators. Men are masters of the physical and the mental. Women are mistresses of the emotional and the spiritual. Okay? They understand the world unseen. That's why it's hard for men to communicate with women when they don't make logical sense. They can feel each other's pain. But nobody wants to talk about that shit. Now, to get to AB's point, no voting, no fucking. If y'all really want me to talk about this, give me a woo. And don't forget to hit that cash app too, please. Woo! Because I'm pissed off. But if y'all vote for that, I'm going to just tell you this shit. Because I already know that's the Democratic Party, number one. That's the Democratic Party, number one. If you fucking Negroes vote for that fucking party anymore, you deserve what the fuck you get. Everything to us is about fucking. Nobody cares that black boys can't read or obtain education or occupations. But you're worried about, if we don't vote, you don't fuck. Which one is a big lie, because you can't keep a whore from fucking. That's like keeping a motherfucker from breathing. And here's the comical part of it. You're getting an openly gay rapper to talk about fucking like we have a large contingency of gay people in the black community or something, which we fucking don't. And then you got Trina's old ass who still tries to value her fucking add water here pussy into the mix. And this is the fucked up part. You really think these fucking Democrats give a fuck about you? They've shown you what the fuck they gave a fuck about you for the last 40 fucking years. And I'm not big up in the Republican Party either because I'm a registered independent. But once again, hypocrisy is hypocrisy. You want to try to convince. This is even worse to get your booty on the polls. Every time you want a black man to do something, you got to put it in a booty on a poll. Black men, I swear to God, especially you motherfuckers who live in Georgia. If you vote for anybody like Stacey Abrams, you should vote just to spite that shit. You should vote for the other guy just to spite her. I should make a t-shirt that says Stacey must fall. You're not going to get shit. I'm going to tell you this for all the people who are politically opposed to me. I love you, but I'm going to talk about strategy, and I'm going to talk about something called long game. If you vote for Stacey Abrams as a black man, you will never get respect politically ever again. You won't. You won't. Right now, everybody's crying about the black male vote. When you vote the other way and purposely reject her openly, now you become a force of power. Now you become a force of nature. Now you earned a seat at the table. You don't get a seat at the table begging for respect. You take the motherfucking respect. You take the fucking respect. See, I'm a member of the Art Social Club, right, in Baltimore. The club's been around since 1912. They've been getting money and support to rebuild the club. And right now, I'm one of the youngest members. It's me and another guy who's 40. We're the two youngest members. And you got to have somebody who's ruthless to get something done. When you look at the Yard Social Club, it's big enough to host events for 500 to 600 people. And I'm like, why aren't we bringing in revenue for the club? Why aren't we putting young black men to work? You could get bartenders. You could get people to clean up the bathrooms or mop or clean some custodial work. Why aren't you putting young black men to work to remodel the walls? Put some new walls up or, paint the walls, put in some flooring. It's because some people are just problems. Some people are not solution based. Some people can't get the fuck out of their own way. And yes, right now I'm in a recruitment drive for the Art Social Club for younger members who can actually become visionaries. And salute, because one of the members is a World War II veteran who's 98 years old. There's a lot of knowledge that man has that the younger crowd needs to get. But when you don't ruthlessly attack a situation, and one of the issues that was happening, they hired They hired an architect who put a contract up where he can just milk them for money. The president should have been ruthless to say either you work on this shit, leave, or we sue you out of existence. And when you don't have ruthlessness behind it, people are going to take you as a joke. When there was a white or Asian person who needed work, he could hop up and do it. See, when it's business, there is no friendship, there is no partnership. It's business. Business must be done before there's any brotherhood or pleasure. And that's the point that I mean about Stacy must fall. As Artisan said, you must blow the tracks off of the Stacy's train. If you vote for her, you're basically saying that you don't need anything. You don't demand anything. We don't have to respect you. You're just going to give it to us any damn way. And fundamentally so, with shit coming out like that, no voting, no fucking, you might as well say the fucking word. Is this geared towards white men? Hell no. Because you got two fucking black rappers out there. And then here's the crazy part. That shit wasn't even addressing the LGBT community. That's the hypocrisy in it. You're bringing people who don't even recognize their blackness into a black conversation. Y'all black men keep going for this fucking disrespect to see where it's gonna get you. I think at that moment, every black man should turn their back on black America and do their own shit. It's hard to be race loyal when nobody's loyal to you. You heard it 2 years ago. You heard it 2 years ago. Aren't black women black people? No. Why? You think there's only black people in America? There's more black people in Brazil than anywhere else in the world except in Africa. Alone. Why take this disrespect? They obviously do not see you as something of value. They obviously see you as an enemy. What's up, Charlene Self? This. I couldn't agree more. Black women must not be the only must not only have an agenda, but black men must also be every bit as ruthless as you mentioned, Brother Charles, or as I would call, reasonably ruthless. You have to be reasonably ruthless, man. See, when you're a ruthless general, you got to know when scorched earth is needed. Before you get this shit, I'll burn every goddamn house. I'll burn every food supply. I'll take what my soldiers need and we'll burn every goddamn thing else. And we'll let you starve trying to chase us. But yet, we want to talk about sex and we're going to withhold sex from fucking. This is the same group of women that has 1.2 million babies that are not even signed by black men. You have 1.2 million more children than us. So y'all couldn't hold your fucking pants up if you wanted to, but you want to try to control us through sex. Get the fuck out of here. Get the fuck out of here. But yet, you don't want to address anything that happens to black men, at least the street ones. You don't want to address the homelessness, the unemployment rates, the unfair criminal justice system towards us. but you want to talk about fucking. And see, this is the reason why you have no allies. How many years I've been saying this shit to you? You have no fucking allies. You have no fucking allies. Think about this. When Stacey Abrams came to those black men in that little lounge at a cigar bar and she talked to them about black female issues, they should have threw her out that goddamn bar on her ass. How the fuck you want to renege on my fucking wants and needs, but we gotta always help black women? See, this is the reason why they think that you're not even worthy of respect. This is the reason why nobody takes you seriously, black man. Nobody. And you wonder why it's so hard to pass anything politically. See, this is what you need to really understand, black men. Stop bickering over what ideology is right and unify because you're black men. I don't give a fuck if you're Christian, Muslim, Jew, Gentile, Shinto, Hindu, whatever. Buddhist, light skin, dark skin, Pookie, Ray Ray, educated lame, classic man, whatever the fuck title you want to call yourself. They're not going to say, hey, we're going to enslave all the Pookies. No. You're all one big nigga in the eyes of white supremacy. They're so desperate that they're making fucking videos of no fucking, no voting. And I remember when Brittany Cooper's fat ass and her equally as fat Stacey Abrams tried to say, well, we need to withhold sex if these men aren't going to vote. First of all, you walk in birth control commercial. Nobody's fucking you anyway. But that's how they think of black men, that all you need to do is withhold sex from them. The day black women unify and withhold sex from black men is the day you're not going to have any black men left in the community. I'm just going to warn you on that one. If you think you're going to play Texas Hold'em with your pussy, men are always going to go to the path of least resistance. You better believe that. Men going to be like, oh, you're not fucking? All right, Becky, Chung Lee, and Maria, and Jasmine are fuck. And cook and clean and look fit. Well, damn, I didn't think this went through. You never did, Chip. You never did. I want you to see how successful that plan is going to be if you withhold sex from black men. You withhold sex from black men, the whole continent of Africa will scoop us up so quickly by themselves. Brazil, the Caribbean. Do it. I dare you to do it. Do it. Do it. I just double dare you. You can go to your little Simpson Mary, but you know you don't respect niggas like that. See, that's the reason why a lot of chicks come over here who don't agree with me, because they want to listen to that raw masculinity. They like it when a real man tells them no. They don't like a yes man. They'll use the yes man to vindicate all their stupid ass actions. Well, I told you I got more creative names than a little bit. Hey, girl, what's up? What's up, Snowman? No Logic, Craig Harper. And don't forget, if you got a sweet tooth, hit up Craig Harper for them cupcakes, man. Put your website out there. Get them goddamn cupcakes. You're right, Mel. Sex workers will make double the money, if not triple it. I've never seen a fool make so many mistakes. But as my dad would say, never an upper idiot making a mistake. This is the reason why so many times I've told people in the black manosphere, stop being afraid of what these motherfuckers are saying. Hold them to what they're saying. Make them say it. Make them say it longer. You know why? Because as soon as things go down, you're gonna be like, oh, you're gonna be like, oh, I thought you said you were gonna do this. See, when you leave and a motherfucker shuts you down, but a motherfucker say, hey, we need you badly, now you get the right on the table. Now you get to be the one who decides. The ball is in your court. What the Roger P. Henson say? We love you, black man. We need you. Prove it. You said it. Prove it. Get those tipsytulips.com, man. Best damn cupcakes on this side of the Atlantic. I want you to prove it. See, this is the problem with black men in the manosphere. We don't have to argue with you anymore. We've already debunked your shit. It's time for you to ante up and prove it. I want you to prove me wrong. I want you to prove yourself right. You have the burden of the evidence, the preponderance of it, even. It's not me who's got to prove my innocence and worthiness. It's you. You're the ones obsessed with this sex shit. We're not. You're the ones who are dating the low hanging fruit. We're not. Not bad. Hold on, folks. Like I said before, it's up to you to prove it, not me. It's up to you. Until you're ready to make them prove what they say, there's no reason to hate. There's no reason to. There's no reason to even bother. Hold them to their words. Want to hold it back? You're gonna need a plan. You're gonna need some action. If you're not gonna be men of action, then I don't know what to say to you. But I'm gonna hit y'all guys later. I'm gonna go talk to my dad about some stuff. Thank you for the support and watching. If I get a chance, I'll come back on in a little bit. Peace. Woo!